welcome back. You're watching and listening to Breakfast with me, Anne and Pip.
And joining us to go through some of the day's headlines is Noddy and Susan Holder.
And before you say anything, can we listen to you? Who could forget one of the most iconic Christmas songs of all time? Here's a clip from Merry Christmas, everybody.
That's one of the 1973 Top of the Popsies.
Yeah, you can tell by everybody's hair.
It's got hairstyles, isn't it?
It's brilliant. Did you ever damage your voice?
No.
Singing
Only
that line?
once did I lose my voice. In America, we were playing in the Deep South, in a desert area where it really dries your throat out. And they sent me to New York because they were worried that my throat had gone permanently. And they sent me to this specialist in New York, an old professor, and I'm sitting in the waiting room to go in to see him. I could hear the piano tinkling in his room, and there was somebody off the Broadway stage was going la 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 la, and they came out, and I went in.
Proper singer.
Proper singer. I went in. He said he didn't know who the hell I was. He was about 70 years old. And he was tinkling the piano. He said, can you let me know how you sing? Can you give me an example of how you sing?
What did you do?
So I give him the opening bars of Get Down and Get With It. Well, all right, everybody! And he shook, and he went, how long have you been singing like that? And at that point, I said, oh, about 13 years. So if you've been singing like that for 13 years and nothing I can do for you, go away.
I can imagine. I wanted to know, if you're doing a tour and you're doing other concerts at other times of the year than Christmas, do people still want you to sing Merry Christmas, everybody?
Yes.
Even though it was July?
Yes.
And you did?
Always. No, not always. But my trick was to say to them, if you want to hear it, we're not doing it, you sing it. So 9 out of 10 times, they'd sing it and then we'd sort of ad-lib around it.
Well, you've got to give them what they want.
Of course.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Of course.
Great.
Yeah.
Shall we look at the papers?
Yeah.
What have you been picking out for us? Susan, I know you wanted to talk about Priscilla Presley.
I always want to talk about Priscilla
She's a
Presley.
fanatic.
I am a massive Elvis fan, and I love the Elvis movie, the Baz Luhrmann movie that came out not that long ago. I thought it was actually... I was nervous about seeing it.
Oh, yeah,
because
Tom Hanks in it.
Yeah, Tom Hanks was playing
Brilliant.
Colonel
Great
Tom
movie.
Parker. Austin Butler played Elvis. And actually, as an Elvis fan, I thought, although they took certain liberties with... As you have to. When you tell a story, you have to make it kind of, filmic in certain ways. But I thought it kind of captured the heart and the spirit in a way that, as an Elvis fan, I was happy with. So I'm hopeful that Sophia Coppola, who's directed a new Priscilla movie, which is based on Priscilla's book, which I read avidly when I was very young, came out in the 80s. But the story they've gone with in the Daily Mirror, obviously, they've gone on a bit of the kind of sex and scandal. They've picked up that. But I think the story will be told, hopefully, faithfully, about... It's an amazing story Priscilla has.
The whole Elvis story with Priscilla and Lisa Marie and
I mean, obviously
Michael Jackson. Incredible story.
Priscilla lost Lisa Marie, Elvis's only daughter.
She's had a hell of a year. She's lost her daughter. She lost her grandson. She lost her mother
Lisa Marie's
this
son
year.
committed suicide the year before. Her mother has recently died. I've actually met Priscilla.
We met her.
We did
I've
meet
met her. I've interviewed her.
And she was just grace and charm itself.
She's gorgeous,
so
and she's
beautiful.
a trooper, isn't she?
Yes.
She keeps on going.
We saw her in Panto in Manchester.
We did.
No.
Yeah,
Yes,
we did.
she was playing the evil queen in what Panto was it?
It was
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. With Warwick
Or the
Davis.
woodcutter folk, or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
Little
friends, as Anne
She
says.
was wonderful.
She was.
And she didn't just do 10 minutes on stage.
She
came
worked
on,
hard.
did most of the show.
What a life she's
Yeah.
had.
And we
what a
went to the
life.
press room after.
Yeah.
It was press night. And there was a few Elvis fans there, obviously.
Yeah.
And I said to Susan, she won't be coming in the bar.
Don't get your
Forget
hopes
it.
up. Don't get your hopes
And
up.
she walks in.
Oh, my goodness.
And I said, look, don't look behind.
I thought he was
Priscilla's
having me
just
on.
come in. And she went, oh, my God.
Yeah.
And I said, go over and say hello. She said, no. So, of course,
No,
me...
you have to.
Me
Yeah,
being
I know.
cheeky...
He sent me over.
I went over and we did a chitter-chatter.
Yeah.
And she couldn't have been more
Couldn't be
charming.
more lovely.
Real Southern belle.
Yeah.
You never crossed paths with Elvis, Noddy?
No. Never got to see him. I wish I had.
Yeah, you could.
You were in Memphis when he was in Graceland. You went past...
We were.
And that's
They
a line
didn't
in one
open
of...
Graceland then, no.
No, they didn't open it. He was living there.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's one of the lines in one of your songs, is the Hound Dog Singer's Home is in one of the songs, isn't it?
And we never got to see him in Vegas either. We were always missing.
I tell you what, let's drop another name then.
Yeah.
Dick Van Dyke.
This is a good one. This is very
old is
funny.
Dick Van Dyke
I
now?
want to end up
about
like
93.
this.
What do you mean, end up?
Dick Van Dyke, when people see him in the supermarket in Los Angeles and they confront him for autograph, he bursts into a song and dance. tap
Talk
dance.
about giving the people what
Now,
they want.
I want to end up like that. I want to end up in the supermarket.
Dancing around the supermarket.
And do a song and dance.
He's still nimble, isn't he?
Yes.
Have we got the footage of this? Have we got the footage of Dick Van Dyke?
I don't think we've got
gosh,
it. I don't think we've got it.
it's a shame we don't have it.
There's
'cause
a classic.
He did
because
the sort of Jolly Holidays.
Yeah.
when you're an old trooper on stage, you can't give it up. What any level of adulation, you just still want a bit of it.
Yeah.
And Norman Wisdom, when he got put in an old folks home down in Kent somewhere, and he used to break out of it almost every evening because he was nimble.
Yes, he was.
could get
He could do all
through
sorts, couldn't he?
trampoline
Yeah.
downstairs and everything.
Yeah.
And he used to go to the local garage forecourt
Where all
in
the
his
bright
pyjamas,
lights were.
Oh, bless
under the
him.
lights, and he'd do his act.
You'd be
Don't
told.
laugh at me, 'cause I'm a fool. And they'd have to call up the home and
Yeah, so
say,
he's at it
Norman's
again.
in again, can you come and get him?
Is this how you're trying to tell me? Is this what we've got to look forward to?
Yes.
It is like that, how he opens the fridge door, does 20 minutes,
Yes,
you know,
yes,
but the
yes.
light comes on.
Oh.
But you got to give it the old troopers. They never lose it.
And
No,
Dick
I
Van
know.
Dyke in Mary Poppins, that's one of, the Christmas movies that we all love watching.
That's true, that's true.
Favourite
that's true.
Christmas movie?
Oh, Lordy. It's a Wonderful Life
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
I love it.
Meet Me in St Louis with Judy
Yeah.
Garland.
Oh, yes, those were...
Only
I
for
never
that
think
one
about that.
scene with Margaret O'Brien where they sing
Yeah.
Have Yourself a Merry
There is some
Christmas.
great Christmas movies.
There are,
Yeah.
and now's the time
Elf?
to indulge.
I do love Elf. I do love Elf.
Yeah.
Santa Claus the movie, I actually
I like Santa Claus the
because it's
movie.
a proper Dudley Moore, and a real Father Christmas always looks
Very
just
well done.
exactly like you know Father Christmas looks. So yeah, perfect.
Yeah, and it's silly to ask your favourite Christmas song, isn't it, I suppose.
Well, he has
You
got
know what
one.
my favourite is?
He has got one other than his own.
Yeah.
Go on.
Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas
Oh,
is You.
yes.
Will
I
Wham
love
beat
it.
that one this year?
Yeah, I love it because it sounds like an old Motown soul
Yes.
song.
Yeah.
It's a bit of soul in it.
Yes,
is, really,
exactly. And I tell everybody, I call her up on Christmas Day, Mariah, to wish her Merry Christmas and say, good to hear your song again, Mariah. Because I find I've got a lot in common with Mariah.
Oh, yes.
What should that be, Noddy?
She doesn't do stairs, and I don't do stairs. I want to be a diva like Mariah.
Yeah.
Don't do stairs. Want
Whenever we
puppies
take
in the
the lift.
dressing room, and I want caviar in the
Yeah.
dressing room.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Those are your riders.
Can I just
Yeah.
say you're not going to get that? But we can go in the
I
lift
want to be a
rather than the
diva like
stairs,
Mariah.
but it's not because you're like Mariah Carey.
OK.
Can we just?
Did
can
you
we
used
just
to
go
have
that way?
some riders?
Oh, yeah,
What
back
were
in
they?
the day.
Whiskey.
Oh, nothing fancy like today.
Whiskey and cigarettes.
As long as we
Crates
had
of
booze, we were
booze.
fine. We were happy.
How lovely.
And a cheese sandwich.
When
One promoter we used to have, he used to, if we didn't eat it on the night, he'd move it down through the whole tour. And we used to mark the cheese. We wouldn't let anybody cut into the cheese. We used to mark
This
it.
is how to be a star. I can't tell you what a thrill it's been, Noddy. And Susan,
loved
of
it.
course.
I've loved it.
We've loved
Please
it. We've
come back.
loved you. But right now we've got to go to the all-important weather.